And along this line, we're going to be putting the waist dart on this line for the back and on this one for the front. These are the tools we're going to be needing: a sharp pencil, an eraser, one straight ruler. I just have two because this one is longer, so you can use one, and then a curve ruler to draw the armhole. So to begin, I have drawn two lines, vertically and horizontally, because I just want to make sure I'm working from a straight line. So I've taken 2 cm downwards and drawn a straight line here and here as well. Now, this point where both lines meet right here, we're going to label that point 0. So I'm going to use a darker marker so you can see. So this is point 0 right here. So just something to note is we've started at point 0. So from 0 we're going to go to 1, from 1 we're going to go to 2, and just like that, that's how you work or you create your pattern. Now, starting at 0, we're going to use our measurements. So I've made a note of all the measurements we'll be needing. This is my bust, nape, arm side, neck, shoulder, back width, dart, and chest. The only measurement I haven't shown you how to take is the dart measurement, and I'll explain this much later. Please note that all measurements are in centimeters. Okay, we're working with centimeters. So I'm just going to put this to the side. So the measurements I'm going to be giving you are standard measurements based on the pattern book we're working with. Now, we're going to be moving from point 0 to point 1. So from 0 to 1, it goes downwards along this line, and that is 1.5 cm. So place your ruler at point 0, which is where these two lines cross. So place your ruler right there and measure downwards this way, 1.5 cm. That gives me here. So we have point 0 and now we have point 1. Point 2 is also going to be along this line. So we're going to be going from 1 down to 2. The measurement from point 1 to 2 is your arm side depth. So this measurement, mine is 21 cm. So I'm just going to use my ruler and mark 21 cm downwards from point 1. Now we're going from 1 to 2, which is here. So I'm just going to write 2 now. So now we have 0, 1, 2. The next number we need is 3. So all of these ones we've measured them downwards, but for point 3 we're going to be squaring it across. So point 3 is going to be going this way. To get the measurement for 2 to 3, you're going to take your bust measurement, so whatever you have as your bust, divide it into 2, and then add 5 cm to it. So half bust measurement plus 5. So the calculation for mine gives me 47.5 centimeters. That means I'm going to be measuring 47.5 cm this way across. So my 47.5 cm is here. Now we're going to need to connect that point back to the top to meet this line. To ensure we get a straight line, we need to know what the measurement from 0 to 2 is, and then just take the same thing up there. So 0 to 2, from 0 to 2 is 22.5 cm. So that means we just need to ensure that from this line all the way to this point straight down is 22.5 cm. So I'm just going to mark 22.5 cm all the way down until we get to that point. And then I'm going to connect all the dots I've made. So there's one here, one here, one here. I'm going to Now we're sure that 0 to 2 on this side is the same measurement as on that side. So we're now going to measure again that 47.5 cm I got as my measurement for 2 to 3 along this line now. So this way we're sure we're marking it on the right place. So it's right here, 47.5. I'm going to do the same thing all the way just to create a rectangle. Now we have all 3 points, the same measurement. I'll just move this away. The same measurement on all 3 sides, so you can connect the line now. So we have point 0, we have point 1, we have point 2, and from point 2 we went to 3. Is at point 3. And from this point we took the line back up, so that makes here point 4. So as you can see, we now have from 0 to 4. For point 5, we'll be moving down this line, but we'll be going from point 1 to get to point 5. The measurement for point 5 is the nape to waist measurement. So we're going to go from point 1, which is here. So we'll place our ruler at point 1 or your measuring tape at point 1. And then go downwards to get 0.5. My nape to waist measurement is 38.5 centimeters. So placing my ruler at point 1, I'm going to now measure 38.5 cm, which is here. So this is 0.5. Now, we're going to be going to 6. 6 goes across. 5 to 6 is the same measurement of 2 to 3. And the last time we measured this, it was 47.5. So whatever you had here is the same measurement you're going to take from here across to get 0.6 and then take it back up. For mine, it's 47.5. So I'm just going to mark that straight down here. Now, once again, we'll need to make sure the line we're going to be drawing is straight. So how do we do that? All you need to do is determine what the measurement from 2 to 5 is. So what is this measurement? For me, I'm just going to place my ruler and take that measurement. It's 17.5. So it means if I take 17.5 from this line downwards, I will get a straight line. So I'm just going to do that then. I'm just going to connect all the points I've made here, here, and over there. So I'm going to connect it to this now. So that gives me a straight line. I'll also need to connect it back up here. So this is 0.6 right here. So the next measurement we're going to be taking will be along this line, and that measurement will be going from 5 to 7. 5 to 7 is our waist to hip measurement. To get your waist to hip measurement, you can place a string around the smallest part of your waist, and then also place a string around your hip line, so the fullest part of your hip. Using your measuring tape, we'll measure from the waist down to that string you've tied along the fullest part of your waist. So whatever you have as the measurement here, that's the waist to hip measurement. So mine, it's 21 centimeters. So that means I'm going to be taking from 0.5 downwards 21 cm. So I'm going to place 21 on 0.5, and I'm just going to mark where that ends, right here. So this is 0.7. As usual, we're going to square it across and connect it back to this point. So using the same measurements you've always used, this is 47.5 for me. Use whatever you had for yourself. Measure across and then take it back up. So because you measured from 5 to 7, 21 cm, it means 6 to 8, because this point now is going to be 8, will also be 21 cm. You need to ensure that your lines are straight. So this is point 8. Finally, we have the foundation for our block. This is the waistline, and this is the hip line. We're not really going to be using this. Now that we have the foundation for the block, we're going to start with the back. So this side towards me will be the back of the pattern. So this line right here is our center back line. Since we have 0 to 8, the next number we need is 9. For 9, we're going to be moving from point 0 this way. The measurement for 0 to 9 is our neck size measurement. So your neck measurement divided by 5. Whatever you get is you take away 0.2 cm from that measurement. For me, in my case, my neck size is 38, so that's 38 divided by 5. I've got 7.6, and now I'm going to take away 0.2 cm from that 7.6, and that gives me 7.4. So that's what I'm going to be using. I have 7.4. I'm now going to take 7.4 cm from point 0 this way. That's right here. So this means this is my point 9. Once you've gotten that point, you can now use your curve ruler to connect to 9 and 1. So this will be our neckline. Okay. Now this is our neckline for the back. We now have 9. The next number we need is 10. We'll be going from point 1 downwards to get 10. The measurement for 1 to 10 is the arm side depth measurement. So this measurement divided by 5. Whatever you get, you take away 0.7 cm. I have 21 as my arm side depth. So 1/5 of that, so divided by 5, gives me 4.2. So I'm now going to take away 0.7 cm minus 0.7. It gives me 3.5. So it means 1 to 10 is 3.5. Place your ruler at point 1. Measure downwards along this line, whatever you have. So mine is 3.5, and that's right here. Now we're going to square a line from point 10 inwards. This line, we're not really going to use it at the end of the whole drafting. However, it's going to serve as a guideline. So to get a straight line, as usual, you can take the measurement from 0 to 10 to know what that measurement is. It gives me 5.1 actually. So I'm just going to take 5.1 down. And then just connect it back to this. Okay, so just square it in downwards. So now we have point 10. The next number we need, of course, is 11. 11 will be our shoulder measurement, and it's going to go from point 9. So whatever your shoulder measurement is, mine is 11 cm. I'm going to add 1 cm to this. So 11 plus 1 gives me 12. So from point 9, I'm going to measure 12 centimeters going downwards. That measurement must touch this line. So that's the essence of this line. So your shoulder measurement plus 1 centimeter from point 9. So that gives me 12 using my measurement. So I'm just going to place my 12 on point 9. and move my ruler until it touches this line. So ensure the 12 cm is on 0.9 and on this guideline. Okay, so as you can see, mine is here, 12 is here, 1 is here. So I'm just going to draw that line now. Darken this line, but not just yet, but just making note that this is now our shoulder line and this is 0.11. Clear? So this is 0.11. 0.12 is the center of this line that we just drew. So since my own was 12 cm, it means the center will be 6. So I just need to get the center of this line, which is 6 cm, and that's here. We'll mark it 0.12. Of course, from 12 we're going to 13. For 0.13, we're going to take a line going downwards. Now, instead of marking a very straight line, we're going to make it slant a bit. But you can start by by making a straight line. So just make a straight line downwards using broken lines, because we're not going to be using this. So after drawing your broken line, you can just come in a little bit, like maybe half cm. And then we're now going to use this as a guide to draw a slant line. So this slant line needs to be 5 centimeters. So this is where 5 cm ends for me, right here. So this will be 0.13. I'm now going to connect it back to that place. So now we're sure the line isn't straight. Okay, so this right here is 0.13. Looking at my line, I can see it's not that slant. So instead of doing half cm, we're going to take this in by 1 cm. So from this dotted line, place your ruler and come in by 1 cm. So 1 cm is here for me. Okay, so I'm going to use that as my new line instead. So this is the reason why you draft with pencil, because you're bound to make mistakes at some point. And then connect it back. Okay, I'm now going to erase this one. So I've erased it. I'll just draw the slant line, so the dotted lines again, so you can understand what we did here. And then I came in here by 1 cm. So right here is 0.13. Now that that's done, we're going to draw in our back dart. So at 0.12, where this mark is, you're going to measure 0.5 centimeters on both sides. Okay, so on one side you have 0.5, on the other side you have 0.5. We're now going to connect 0.13 to both 0.5 points. So that will now be our back darts. So let's do the first one. Connect to this 0.5 to 13, and then we're going to do the other one. So we can now erase this initial one we drew, so the one in the middle, because we no longer need it. The next thing you need to do is to ensure that these two lines, these two 0.5 lines we just drew, we need to ensure that they're the same measurement. So this first one is 5.2, this other one is 5 cm. So we need to ensure that it's 5.2 as well. So I'm just going to extend that one a little bit. So it's going to go up a bit. So these are now our new lines. I'm going to use the marker to darken it for you. So this is the dark line. I'm now going to darken this shoulder line as well. So connecting it to this line. And then I'm going to do this one as well. Remember, this one it looks longer, but they're actually the same measurement, so that's fine. And then we're now going to connect this to this point. Now have our shoulder and our back dart. Now we have 0.13 as our last point. It means we now need 14. 14 is going to be along this line. We'll take from 2 to 14. 2 to 14 is half of the back width measurement plus 0.5 cm. The reason we're adding 0.5 rather is to give some ease along the back or along this part of your pattern. So my back width measurement is 36. I'll need to take half of that, which is 18 centimeters plus 0.5, so that gives me 18.5. I'm now going to measure from point 2 inwards to get point 14, which is 18.5. So this is my 18.5, so that's point 14. I'm just darkening it and marking 14. We're immediately going to go from 14 to 15. 15 is going to be on this faint line, this pencil line that I didn't darken. So you're just going to take that same 18.5 measurement all the way until you get to this line. I measured mine, which is 18.5 all the way up. I'm now going to connect it to point 14. This line, we're not going to use it once again, so I'm going to leave it in pencil. I'm just going to mark here point 15. To get 16, we just need to get the midpoint of this line. So the measurement for this line is 17.3. I'm now going to divide that by 2. 0.3 divided by 2, that gives me 8.65. So I'm going to have 8.65 here, 8.65. So that's here. We're going to repeat the same thing along this line to get point 17. So get the measurement of 2 to 14, then divide that by 2. So we had 18.5 divided by 2, 9.25. So that's here. So it means this point is point 17. We have 17. 18 is along this line. 18 is from 5 inwards. So the same measurement you have for 2 to 17, which is 9.25. You're also now going to take 9.25 down here. So that's here. And then you can connect them using a dotted line. So on the waistline, that's where you have point 18. I mentioned earlier that we're not going to be using this hip line, but we also need to just take base measurements so that the numbers will go serially. So the same thing we've done here and here, we're going to repeat here. We're going to take the 9.25 measurement on this line and then connect it with the dotted line as well. So this is 19. That's all for the back at the moment. We're now going to move to the front. To get point 20, we're going to be working with this line. We're going to be moving from 4 to 20. 20 is the neck size measurement divided by 5 minus 0.7 centimeters. And for me, that gives me 6.9. So I'm now going to measure 6.9 from here towards this area. 6.9 is somewhere here. I'm just going to mark that, and this is point 20 for me. Now we need to get the neck curve, so that takes us to 21. So we're going to be moving from point 4 to 21 down this line. To get that measurement, once again you're going to take your neck size measurement, which is for me 28. I'm going to take out I'm going to divide that by 5, so 38 divided by 5, and then I'm going to take out 0.2 centimeters, so that gives me 7.4. That means I'm going to put my ruler at 0.4 and measure downwards 7.4 centimeters. So for me, this is where my 7.4 ends. So that's point 21. I just realized that what I was doing wasn't in frame. What we've done so far is gotten from 4 to 20. 4 to 20 was neck size measurement, 38, divided by 5 minus 0.7. We got 6.9, and then I took my ruler and measured from 4 inwards 6.9, and that's how I got 20. I've also measured point 21. Where you get 4 to 21 is take your neck size measurement, for me it's 38, divide that by 5, and then take away 0.2 centimeters. So 38 divided by 5 minus 0.2 gave me 7.4. So I have just moved down from 0.4 to 0.21 with 7.4 centimeters. Once you have 20 and 21, you can now draw your front neckline curve. So far, we now have up to point 21. It means the next point we need is 22. To get to 22, we're going to be moving from 3 inwards across this line. But to do that, we're going to be needing the dart measurement, so this measurement. And I mentioned earlier that in my measurement video, I didn't show you how to get this dart figure. I'll show you how to do that now. So when you have a pattern book, you have standard dart measurements. Now, as you can see for mine, I have written 7 cm. This is because I now know that I'm a size 10 according to the book I'm working with, or according to my sizing, my UK, so let's just say UK sizing, I'm a size 10. Now, for my size, it is 7 cm according to the standard dart measurement. To get the next size, which is a 12, all you need to do is add 0.6 centimeters. So if a 10 is 7, it means 12 will be 7.0.6, which is 7.6 cm. So if you're a size 12, that will be your dart. The next size after 12 is 14. And then you add 0.6 to that again. And that's just how it goes. However, I am going to put in the description box the standard dart measurement for the various sizes. So if you're not interested in going through this calculation, you can just look at the description and pick your dart measurement. So let's continue with the video. So now we're going to be going from 3 to 22. 3 to 22 is half of your chest measurement plus half of your dart measurement. My chest measurement is 34, my dart measurement is 7. So half of this is 17 and half of this is 3.5. So quickly we're just going to punch that. 17 plus 3.5 gives me 20.5. I'm now going to measure 20.5 centimeters from 3 into this line. This is where 20.5 falls, right here. 22 here. It means the next line is 23. 23 is easy because it's just the midpoint between 3 and 22. So we had 20 as this measurement, so divided by 2 is 10.25. All you need to do is measure 10.25 here. That's 0.23. Now you're going to take this same measurement all the way on this line and on this line. So that will be 24 and 25. So from 0.6, measure in 10.25 and do the same from 0.8. Now I'm just going to connect all 3 points. At this point, it's 24, and on the hip line, it's 25. Now we have 25, so to get 26, we're just going to measure from point 23 along this dotted line. We're going to take 2.5 cm downwards. So that's my 2.5 cm right here. I'm now going to connect these 2.5 cm points to point 20 right there. So we're going to make a straight line to this point. So remember, this point is 26. We're now going to get 27. 27 is your dart measurement, whatever it is. So you're going to take it from 20 this way. So 20 along this line. Since mine is 7, it means I'm going to be taking 7 cm from 20 across. So that's here. So this is point 27. I'm now going to connect this line to 26. So this is our shoulder dart. So we now have 27. It means what we need is 28. To get 28, you're going to come back to 11 here and take 1.5 centimeters downwards. So place your ruler on a point 11 and measuring downwards 1.5 cm right here. So this point is 28. 29 is from this point 28 downwards. So we're going to measure 10 cm from 28 downwards. Just going to place my ruler now to get my straight line. So this is point 28 and this is 10 cm right here. So I'm just going to draw point 29, so the line for 29 now. So this ruler has markings that lets me know that this line is straight. But if you want to get a straight line, if you don't have your ruler like this, all you need to do is use this line as a guide. Place your ruler right here and get the measurement from this line to point 28, and that's what you're going to now take all the way to the 10 cm point and then connect the line. So this is point 29. Now, once again, this line, I'm not going to make it dark because it's just a guideline. We're going to be using it to draw the front shoulder line. The front shoulder of our shoulder measurement is 11 cm. So for me, it's 11 cm. That's what I'm going to be taking here. So whatever you have, that's the same thing you will use. I'm going to place my ruler at 27 and pivot it. So just bend your ruler until your shoulder measurement, so for me it's 11, until 11 touches this line. Don't forget, it must still touch point 27. So as you can see, now 11 is touching this line, and the tip of my ruler, the beginning of my ruler is also touching point 27. Once that's okay by you, just connect the line. So that's the front shoulder line. I'm now going to darken it. And this is point 30. At this point, I think it's important to state the fact that our bodies are different. So yours might look different around this area. It might also look different around this area. So point 15 might look farther away, or it might look, so it might even be inwards towards this side of the block. As long as you followed the instructions to this point, don't worry about it. It just means that our bodies are different. So now we have 30. We need 31. 31 is going to go from 22 upwards. So it means we need a straight line going up here. Let's get our straight line. So 14 to 22 is 8.6 cm. So I'm just going to now measure 8.6 all the way up along here. 8.6 and 8.6. So I'm just going to connect that straight line now. Okay, So now we can now determine where 31 falls along this line. To get point 31 along this line, we are going to measure 3 to 21. Whatever you have here, divide it by 3. So I'm just going to measure mine. That gives me 15.2. I have 15.2. 15.2. I'm now going to divide that by 3. So I'll just round it off and say 5. It gives me 5. So what that means is to get 31 on this line, so 22 to 31 is 5. I'm now going to place my ruler on this line and measure 5 centimeters. Here. So this point is now point 31. So we have point 31 now. The final point we need is point 32. So 32 is just the midpoint between 14 and 22. So that's here, somewhere here. Okay, so that's point 32. The only thing that's left to do now is connect the armhole. Okay, so we have our back, we have our front. Once we connect the armhole now, you understand. So this point 32, we're going to just take this same measurement on the waistline and on the hip line. So this is the side of our block. So to easily get that measurement, just take what you have from the edge of your paper to point 32. So this gives me the 22.9. I'm now going to measure 22.9 here, so here, and I'm now going to connect those points to the hip line. So this is point 33, and this is point 34. So right here is where we now connect our armhole, and I'm just going to be showing you how to do that now. To draw our armhole, we're going to be connecting 11 to 16, and then from 16 we're going to go to 32. From 32 we're going to go to 31. From 31 we'll go to 30. So it's going to be like something like this to form our armhole curve. So what we need to achieve a nice curve is a protractor, and you'll get this in any mathematical set really. So we need this to ensure we get the 45 degree angle. So just using the straight line, which is a 90 degree, we're going to place it on this line from 16. Okay, so place the 90 degree line on to match with this 16 line and mark 45 degrees. So 45 degrees is here. And I'm just going to draw a straight line to connect it. Just a very faint line. I'm going to do the same thing along this side. And I'm going to measure 45, angle 45. So I'm going to connect this to this point again. So that's all we need it for really. Now that we have this line in place, we're going to use it as a guide. To get your measurement for this part, it varies for different sizes, and I'm going to put the different sizes in the description box so you can look there to know what you're supposed to be using, the measurement you're supposed to be using on this side and on this side. So for me, I'm a size 10 like I mentioned. So I'm going to be using along this line, the 14 line, I'm going to be using 2.5 centimeters. So what that means is I'm just going to measure upwards 2.5 cm. Here, falls here. On this one, I'm going to measure upwards 2 cm. So this just helps you know how to gauge the depth of the armhole, so you don't go too low and you don't go too high. 2 cm is here. So now that I have my 2 cm and I have my 2.5 cm, I can now connect them from 11 to 16, from 16 to this point, from this point to 32, from 32 to this 2 cm marker, and then all the way to point 30. So you need your curve ruler to do this. So I'm now going to join point 11 to 16. I'm using a faint line because I need to be sure I'm okay with it first. I'm then going to go from 16 to this point. Okay, and then from here I'm going to go to 32. So you can pivot your ruler until you're comfortable. So I'm going to make here smoother. And then from here, I'm now going to go to this mark. From this 2 cm mark, I'm going to 31. Now I have to join 31 to 30. I just need to fine tune it before I draw my final curve. So guys, that's the pattern done. This is the armhole. So that's the basic bodice block. Along these lines, that's where you'd normally have your dart. So this one for the back, this one for the front, and then we'll also be shaping in the sides to get the body shape. I'll do that in the next tutorial. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next one.